Varna, this is the first time he's been banned away, or she's been banned away, I should say.
Trundle could be first pick here for ROCCAT.
Does quite a bit in that top lane with the Jax ban coming in. As you mentioned, top lane may be the focus. Yep. And Trundle is indeed locked in as the first pick.
So the reason SK delayed the last ban and actually were thinking about it was because they knew if we ban Jax now, it's going to be a first pick Trundle. And then Freddy was like, is he going to play Aatrox? Is he going to play Renekton into it? Both of them against the Trundle when you go to late game parts, that's where Trundle becomes really strong. It can be a hard matchup, but of course SK felt like they'd rather give Trundle to ROCCAT and then take Lucian and Lee Sin for themselves than actually giving Jax over and getting Trundle for them. So decided to make a choice, banned away, but a lot of top lanes being banned here. And of course, it opens up for the Lee Sin for Svenskeren, and also the Lucian, very standard AD carry for Candy Panda.
Freddy looking fairly confident there as he's spinning on his chair. They locked in their two champions very quickly, so he had a grin on his face, so he kind of knew what he was up against with Trundle, I believe. There. So Lucian and Lee Sin were locked in. So Svenskeren and Lee Sin, it's something that really we saw some highlight plays from last spring split.
Yeah, we know how strong he is, especially on early game junglers. And we know the early game from SK is built around him making plays on the map here. Of course, if ROCCAT decides to lane swap and then try and put him in a situation where he can't really early gank as much as he normally would like to, they can try and then play the map against SK. Could be a risky move because normally SK know exactly what to do on the map here. So we need to see how ROCCAT want to handle Svenskeren early. They didn't pick the jungler yet, at least.
Nami was picked in once again.
Yay!
Nami is, there's that 3 games running? Well, not sure, I'm trying to think which one was picked up. It was the first game, it was Edward missing all the missing all your ultimates, Eddie, not so good. ROCCAT do lock in Overpower's champion though, that is going to be Nidalee in the mid lane.
So I could also explain the Yasuo ban here from ROCCAT. Normally it is counter pick to Nidalee. And of course they want to take it away from Jessis. Kayle is still open for him, Ziggs is open for Jessis, still plenty of options for him.
Well, Renekton was picked in there, so Freddy falling back on a Trident tested there with Renekton. Hasn't seen as much pick rate. You can see it's the first time picked in the summer this time around, was pretty much predominant throughout the spring split. But Leona is going to be picked up in support.
Yeah, so Renekton, due to all these lane swaps here, it's not as easy to just get your one-on-one matchup, which was the thing about Renekton. It's where he shines. In one-on-one early game, he's very, very strong, can dominate the lane. But if you lane swap on him, he kind of loses this thing because he's going to be farming a jungle, Trundle's going to be farming a jungle somewhere else, and get the levels, and then Trundle can start actually winning and outscaling Renekton. So that's one of the reasons he fell out of favor, but now they actually have to go with him because of all these top lane bans.
Of course, the new ROCCAT shirts on them as well with their new sponsors. ROCCAT have gone with Kog'Maw once again alongside that Nami, and you saw Jankos very happy and smiling. Well, why not? He's got his Elise once again.
It's actually, in general, if you look at the ROCCAT comp here, once they actually start grouping up for a tower, you can land the spear, you can land the bubble, you can land the cocoon. There's a lot of skill shots SK Gaming needs to look out for here and dodge around. And if one of them lands onto them, if the cocoon lands, you follow it up by the bubble, a lot of poke onto you. If just the spear lands, well, we know how much damage Nidalee can do, and it also forces you away from the tower. So ROCCAT with a very, very strong lineup when it comes to grouping up with 4 members, doing a lot of damage onto towers, poke, and then disengage if needed with the Nami, of course, with the Elise, and then Trundle can just split push in the top lane.
So what do we think? Kayle? Kayle left open.
Could be Kayle here. Ziggs actually would be best for the wave clear. Yep. Together with Lucian would make a lot of sense, and actually was also locked in by SK here. So now they have the wave clear. With the Ziggs, we know how strong he is, just extending games, making sure teams can't group up early and just push down towers, so I like this pickup. Also, he can apply a lot of pressure to overpower early game here in the lane. So overall, good response from SK with the Ziggs pick, and of course Candy Panda can also help in with the wave clear. And if now SK want to start a fight, they have Leona, they have Lee Sin to jump in, Freddy can teleport behind. The issue for them, however, comes when you hit the late game point. Kog'Maw, of course, will scale really well. We have Trundle up in this top lane who's going to outscale Renekton. That could be the issue for SK, and therefore they need to make sure they don't go too late, or at least they need to make sure they are far enough ahead to actually handle it.
Well, we'll see how this one turns out, of course. What do we think overall the teams? Who do you feel has got the advantage in the picks and bans?
Well, looking just straight picks and bans, I really like the comp from ROCCAT, but also like the response from SK with the Ziggs pick here, because they know if we don't have some proper wave clear, they can just push a group up together and start poking us down, and we won't have a response.
And remember, SK generally struggled in that lane phase, so Ziggs sometimes has been drawn to quarter to help them out. Of course, the teams, well, they've locked in their champions, so who has the better composition? Who do you feel? Tweet us with the hashtag ROCWin or the hashtag SKWin, and we'll share the results with you on screen shortly, of course. See if you've felt any different from those picks and bans.
And we really need to see here if ROCCAT can get a lane swap going, because they want to make sure, of course, SK can't use the Renekton Lee Sin combo to just destroy the top lane. And also they want to make sure that Kog'Maw and Nami can get a few levels, because Leona, if she hits onto Nami, Nami is very squishy and could be a kill for SK.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The final game of the day getting underway. ROCCAT as the blue team skittering out of their base up against SK Gaming, starting out as the red team with that crazy mad scientist in the mid lane.
And SK Gaming, actually both teams have some tools for their level 1. Nami Bubble is a very strong level 1 spell. You can even land on multiple members, of course. And also on the side of SK Gaming, you can start stun onto Renekton, you can start to stun on Enraided. Some good CC that can lock down the first target who runs in. So we need to see ROCCAT for now are grouping around this top side here, because they want to get in, get a few wards so they can spot where SK is sending their dual lane, and ROCCAT can make sure they can send theirs the other lane.
Well, SK are still the favorites. Of course, you were voted them the favorites over the last week, and now it's 63% still in their favor, swinging slightly into ROCCAT, but still SK very much in charge. We'll see how it works out as this game progresses. Of course, keep your tweets coming about the big plays. We may see a big play in this one. We saw one in the last game. Let's see if ROCCAT or SK can perform.
So this one ward here from Svenskeren actually means ROCCAT won't be able to just straight up invade into the jungle. Or they can still do it, but it can be more risky because SK, of course, will have full vision of them moving in and can try and set up a counter engage onto them. And they're just waiting at this red buff. They're expecting ROCCAT to do something. For now, nothing happening.
They're not going to go for any invades. We did see a number of early invades that either worked or backfired horribly throughout the Super Week, just last week, in the last few days.
They will get the lane swap though, because actually the bottom lane, SK already had the dual lane down there. They won't be able to swap up in time in case they want to go for 2v2. And now ROCCAT, because the dual lane is up in the top side, can just move into this red buff. Svenskeren actually, because he was waiting around, he's gonna be delayed on his own blue buff now.
Yeah, he was waiting. He wanted to start off on the red buff. You could see he was there with Freddy, and Sturms was not able to react in time, and now he's desperately making a mad dash across towards the red lane himself. So Freddy's got to be careful he doesn't push out that wave too far. He's trying to just stay relevant close to it, but he's taking a lot of harassment from Bounder here. Going to force him right back behind his tower.
And Nami is such a good support when it comes to these lane swaps here early on. Because of the bubble you can land, you can try and predict where Freddy's gonna go when he wants to last hit a minion under the tower, for instance. Predict the bubble. Either you force him to go away from the minion or get hit by the bubble, and then he takes a lot of pokes. So wisely enough, he's just gonna recall away. He knows he's not gonna get any CS in this lane swap here, and needs to start jungling. Svenskeren though, he's very far away from him. They actually need to go together, so it's a bit of an issue for Freddy here early on.
Wasn't sure whether Vander actually had 80 runes on him there as well, the amount of damage he was putting down onto Freddy. I was trying to have a quick glimpse across. I can't quite see them. Maybe I'll check them out after the game. As it stands though, Freddy is going to hold off in a 2v1. Well, you know, something we talked about with Renekton, of course. The fact, oh, he's just teleported back. And now it's going to be a 4-on-1.
He's gonna die from this one. I mean, 4 members. He needs to back away from this tower. Svenskeren is at his own blue buff. He's not going to be here.
Pillar of Ice could go down and block him, but Xaxus does not go for it. Cocoon did land, but Freddy gets away scot-free there. I feel that ROCCAT could have punished it a little bit more, but instead they are focusing rightly on the tower.
Yeah, now of course they need to make sure once they actually take down this tower here, that it won't push towards Freddy. They just want to deny him all the time. His teleport, of course, was already used just to go back to the lane and then actually move away from the tower. With the jungle up top lane though, it opens up for Jessis to apply a lot of pressure on this mid lane onto Overpower.
Jessis is going to keep those bombs onto Overpower, causing, like you say, a lot of pressure, and gives him the freedom to harass. And Nidalee early on at these levels can get punished quite heavily by a Ziggs in the right hands, and that's exactly what they're doing. But look at this early dragon coming out from SK Gaming.
Yeah, I like this move from SK because they know all the members are in this top lane. There's no way they can go down to defend this one. So SK can now take the dragon, go down to this bottom lane, which is not even pushing, and still pick up a lot of farm for Candy Panda. The bottom lane tower is untouched, so they know they won't be able to kill it in time if ROCCAT decides to recall up top anyway. So smart of them to at least get the Dragon for this.
4-minute 20 Dragon. Keep your eyes on that one at the 10-minute mark, because that will be back up. Jesus has got a spider coming towards him. He can quite easily satchel charge his way from that one though, so not too much pressure, and he'll get back around to clear out the wave as well. Sullivan's stuck around in this top lane, hasn't backed off yet, which is keeping Freddy hot on his toes. He has still only got 1 CS, and Zazas, of course, only got 5 himself.
But it's pretty smart actually they kept Selva up here to just farm in his top lane, because again they saw SK move from the lane up towards the Dragon, so they know Dragon is gone. It's very easy to spot out, and they also know their bot lane tower is completely untouched, so they don't have to send members back instantly to defend it, and therefore could push this wave all the way into the tower, make sure it resets now before the next 2 waves meet each other.
Freddy missing a couple of CS there, and more importantly the siege minion was missed out, so that would have helped him out, but he can hold this lane here now. We did see Zazas is the one basically being punished by this. He was heading down towards the bottom. He's got himself a double Doran's Blade.
Ooh, this is not good for him. Bot lane is pushing in favor of SK, so he won't be able to get any CS there. Top lane, he needs to wait for Freddy to push this wave all the way down to his side of the lane here. So actually Sas was being punished a lot for the fact he went up to the top lane with the 3 other members from ROCCAT to push down the tower. And Freddy, he was just waiting. He knew at some point he would be able to get some farm. That's why he just waited around.
He has managed to get a little bit of lane tax there, Overpower gifting that across towards him, so he has hit level 3 and got himself a few minions, and actually kept himself level with Freddy. Freddy himself though, look at the top lane, you can see he's just holding it there right now on the mini-map.
Slowly pushing.
Looking to push that one out anytime soon.
And we need to see if Svenska now wants to go all the way up to this top lane, so once the big wave built up by Freddy hits towards the tower, then Svenska will be there, try and dive onto Sassus, who's under-leveled at this time, and therefore force him away and deny him even more CS. It seems for now he's at the Wraith camp, still got some time before he needs to be in the top lane.
He's heading that way though, you can see those bomb satchel charges all working towards Overpower, but he is up to 5 now, he's got himself that chalice, so he's relatively safe up against the Ziggs. Bottom lane pairing, of course, very even in terms of farm between them. This is the first time we are seeing them up against one another. Candypan and Ren rated on the standard combo. Well, not quite so standard combo. Leona has started to become more commonplace though in the summer, up against the Kog'Maw and Nami, which really has risen to dominance over in Korea and seemingly in Europe now, because this is the second time we've seen it today. Could have been the third if, of course, Genjo had gone towards it.
And look at this here, Svensken is now in this top lane because there's a massive wave from Freddy, of course. If they can deny this one from Sassus, it's going to be so huge for SK. It means Freddy going later into the game can just split push against Freddy for a long time, against Sassus, sorry, because he will be so much stronger. Jankos, though, with a very good reaction, staying towards his top side as well, in case the dive should happen.
Well, sticking around.
He needs to be there now.
Comes in. Now he's there. He needs to be joining him. Dominus comes in. That was a good stun coming out, though. And actually very good damage control from the tower. Svenskeren caught out by the Cocoon. Where's he going to repel to? Freddy's actually taken pretty low on this one. That's going to why the mid laners, they're going to come across in support. We also see Nami coming across. Freddy's in trouble. Where's he going to go? He's already used his flash. He's going to try and slice through, but it's not enough. And now Jez is in trouble. Overpower catches on towards him. Where's he going to go? Satchel Charge doesn't bounce him away quite far enough. The spear lands, but it's not enough. And great reactions coming out of ROCCAT.
Yeah, very nice reactions here. They knew once the wave was going to hit the tower, Svenskeren would be there. Jankos stayed nearby as soon as he saw the dive was happening, moved up there, and then the rest of ROCCAT could also come up and help the team. Picked up a kill here onto Freddy, and now of course Sassus as well can pick up some much needed farm.
Yeah, he gets pushed in. Salavar now in trouble. Nami was not there, but the teleport comes in from Zazas. It forces SK to back away, but now they know that's been cancelled. They can rush straight for him. Zenith's Blade not quite catching on though.
Silva almost got baited by his own teammate there. Stayed under the tower until the teleport was actually cancelled. Lucky enough for him, he was actually out of range and just been farming alone now because Nami roamed all the way up to this top lane here to help out.
Yeah, got an important assist as well. Spear comes across from Overpower, gets himself the blue buff for that mid lane. Kept up fairly decently on Jez's in terms of farm, despite the fact he was on Nami, was pressured early, had no help from his junglers. And there's opening 6 levels. Blue buff, of course, will go across the Jez's here. All things being equal, did go across. I wasn't sure whether that actually changed hands incorrectly, but dodging out of the spears, this is now in the hands of Overpower, you feel.
Well, at least despite losing their, if you go back to the top lane dive here, despite losing the dive, Freddy is come back to the lane now, and it's going to be the exact same thing. He's going to build up a massive wave once again, get ahead in XP, get ahead in farm, until it comes down to Sarsus. Also, his teleport is ready in case SK want to try and set up for this dragon spawning here in the next 50 seconds. And he can always join down. So he can now build up the wave once again, push down to the tower, and then just rotate down towards the dragon. SK can start it. Sarsus without teleporting won't be able to join in, also because he has to pick up the farm top.
We'll see how it works out for them. At the moment, it is fairly even in the lane phase. Opening 10 minutes. Remember that dragon is going to be up at the 10-minute 20-second mark, which is why it's counting down. And we do see Svenska and heading back down here. They have managed to push the wave into the turret, but it's far from in their control at the moment. So it would be a risky dragon to start back off again. But remember, ROCCAT have no timers on this.
No timers, and also the two side lanes for them are pushed into their own tower, so they won't be able to move up quickly for the dragon. Pink ward was now cleared by Svenska, so SK got full control of the river and got full control of the lanes. And we actually see Freddy starting to move towards the dragon here after he pushed the wave into the tower. Won't even be needing his teleport because he can just run all the way, unless a fight starts instantly.
Jankos is coming around. That was a good satchel charge into a Zenith, into a catch out there. Solar Flare, fantastically done. Overpower and Jankos locked up. Overpower was kind of drawn in by his jungler there, and that was a simple pickup by SK, a kill and a dragon.
There was actually a flash on Overpower here, but decided not to use it, so went down for it again. Dragon also for SK. Freddy moved down, going back towards the top lane. Didn't use the teleport, so they still have the option now for him to join in one of the lanes in case a fight should happen. It's a beautiful move by SK. Knew they had the advantage when it came to more members, and also knew they could just start a fight if ROCCAT tried to come in and poke.
So Blue Buff went across and traded to Candy Panda because he got that kill. He's going to maybe able to spam something out, who knows. He's going to back off, he's going to get himself the Blade of the Rune King, not the Blade of the Rune King, he's going towards the... why have I forgot the name of a Bloodthirster? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Just completely losing memory right now. Jesus, though, with the blue buff of his own, he's going to put pressure on, and now that there is new blue buff and, of course, Overpower, he has to play a little more safe.
A little more safe, actually. Mid lane's been a bit quiet lately. Of course, there's been no need to actually do anything for both of them, just to farm away. Could be the next target for SK if they want to quickly move in, because with the lack of wave clear from Overpower, Jesus can push the wave down. Some members from SK can join in, get a lot of damage onto the tower, maybe even take it, and then go back into the lanes. Could be an option for SK. For now, they're just staying in the lanes and just farming away.
So, let's see whether ROCCAT can claw the way back into this. SK with pretty good control. 2 dragons to the good, even in kills. Still yet to get a tower down, but I feel that's certainly an option for them, but I don't think they're going for it right now. They're happy to keep this lane phase extended.
Yeah, well, again, look at ROCCAT's side here. They have to basically just pick up farm wherever they can, and now engage on to Selvar.
Well, Solar Flare misses out. Zenith Blade does lock him up though, but there's a lot of damage going on towards Candy Panda, which is why he's having to back out. Flash from Enrated to avoid that Aqua Prison. Candy Panda going aggressive with the flash there, almost paying the price because that tower hit was quite strong on towards him. They will get the tower down though, so that will be the first one of the game for SK.
A very aggressive play here from SK, wanted to deny again the entire wave. It's a thing SK has been playing around in this game. Whenever there's a big wave at a tower and someone from ROCCAT was there to try and take it, they would just go aggressive towards them, try and force them away. Did the same thing here. Had to use all the summoners though from SK's bottom lane.
So Jankos back in the bottom, clearing out. Vander getting a little bit of CS as well. This tower in the mid lane is actually taking a lot of punishment from Jesus. Sweep comes out from SK. Blade not quite in range on Jankos there though.
Not quite in range, but in raid, actually been very aggressive on this Leona. Also at the dragon fight, he didn't even think. It's just, oh, you come close, ult into your face, jump in, get a kill here. So SK now actually decides to move to this mid lane because, again, lack of wave clear to Nidalee. Kog'Maw is left in this bottom lane. It's going to be an easy tower for SK.
Well, they're going to push in for it. We'll see whether they get it. Jankos is trying to stick around.
Take the tower.
Prison's in there, but they just need to hit the damn thing, and they're not doing it. They're going to back off.
Both Candy Panda and Jets could have got a few auto attacks onto it and just take away the tower, but played it very safe. Didn't want to risk getting hit by Bubble or anything from ROCCAT here.
Forced him to stop recall anyway. Nonetheless, they will back off. Jankos checking out that bush. We do see the Mega Inferno Bomb being used to wipe out that minion wave. That's going to stop ROCCAT pushing through that mid turret. And you can see this top turret taking a lot of damage. Freddy just needs to get in there, get a couple of hits down.
Yeah, so just like the mid tower, both of them are very, very low. Easy for SK to just go in, get a spike in goal when they kill these 2 towers, and then take all the wards, move them a step further down, get full vision of ROCCAT's jungle, and then know exactly what ROCCAT is going to do. And we talk about how ROCCAT in Champs League got ahead, could just start grouping up and have a lot of siege potential, a lot of poke potential with both, of course, landing Cocoon or Bubble and land a spear onto them, and it could work out for them, but they need time, and now they're falling so far behind. So SK, with the superior wave clear, has just been able to push down the lanes again and again, and always try and punish them. And now, onto Celavar.
Solar Flare, Zenith Blade, Celavar dead, and that's going to be another kill for Candy Panda. And pretty much a clean one this time around. It was what they were aiming for last time, and it also put some pressure on towards his inner turret.
Get a lot of damage. Svensson joins in with the team as well. Bubble onto Enrated. Nobody there to follow up though. Still got at least 50% damage onto this tower here from SK, and it's just been the same thing for them. They keep pushing in, get some damage, go back next wave, do the same thing again. Full advantage of the fact they are stronger now in this mid game.
Well, the siege minions is the next wave that's coming through. There's the top turret, and the bottom turret's again going to be pressured by this duo pairing. It's still only Vander and Jankos there. Celavar has finally respawned, and he's just going to get in there. So after the hit point's gone, they're going to go aggressive on towards N-Rated. Can they catch him? Aqua Prism gets dobbed out. Cocoon does manage to catch on. There's the wave. He manages to surf that one through. But now Jankos is in trouble. They're going to try and turn it around. Here comes the teleport. Freddy's going to join in. Mega Inferno Bomb comes in, plonks onto his head. Freddy manages to clean up that kill, and they will back out once again. ROCCAT should not be chasing this one. They can turn.
Yeah, SK can turn around for this one here. Svensson, who still has his flash, of course, can go into the face of them. No ulti, he wouldn't be able to kick someone back. But it took ROCCAT such a long time to even try and kill Enrated. He only dropped down to about 30-40% of his HP here, so it was easy for SK to just kite back a little bit and teleport back to a ward. Now Tower also went down mid lane. Jesus should be safe, backing away.
Yeah, just satchel charges away from that one, sidesteps the spear and is safe. So another turret down, 3-1 now in favor of SK, and quickly, as you mentioned, money in the bank. They're now 5,000 gold ahead.
Quick spike for SK. Basically, they're just playing all the lanes completely correct. I mean, they know they can push them down, they know they're stronger, take full advantage of it. And that's the thing about this Kog'Maw Twitch AD carries we see a lot of in Korea. The thing about them is, if you fall behind, you will often lack this wave clear, because if you're paired with, let's say, Nidalee here, with a Trundle, there's absolutely no wave clear on the side of ROCCAT. That's where at least the European teams now need to learn. Once you play Kog'Maw, once you play Twitch, we need something else with some wave clear, or we need to make sure we get ahead early on and we dictate the map, so we won't get in this situation where every single lane just get pressured and we have no wave clear to do anything.
Anyone in SK, their team, they'll be happy right now because they have full objective control from the 4th minute in this game. That's another dragon going their way, the 3rd one inside 17 minutes. That's impressive in itself, along with those 3 outer turrets. The inner turrets are the next focus though. You know, we talked about SK, how they sometimes struggle in the early lane phase. They've won the early lane phase quite clearly, it seems. They have objective control. Let's see how they close out this match.
For now, at least, they've just gone back to the lanes. Freddy, once again, keeps going up to this top lane. Do the exact same thing we've seen so many times. Build up a big wave, pushes in. We need to see if SK wants to use this big wave, wants to hit towards the bottom side here, or the top side, of course, of ROCCAT went down towards the tower and want to move over there quickly from the mid lane, get some damage onto the tower with all the minions, or they just want to use it to apply pressure and then move towards the mid lane or bottom lane.
Well, look at the map. You can see, oh, Solar Flare lands on Xaxus. Xaxus going to get pinned down. Kick towards Freddy. Stunned up once again. Completely locked up, but he flashes away. He gets away. Mega Inferno Bomb. It does land. Svenskaren needs one more kick, but he gets out scot-free. Svenskaren now taken low. Freddy's going to get locked up. The rest of the team trying to back away. They do have the bouncing bombs coming through from Jesus. But what a great escape by Xaxus.
Yeah, and a great turnaround by ROCCAT as a team, coming in there, helping him out. Tidal Wave, everything was used to force SK away. A lot of the members actually dropped fairly low here from SK, so ROCCAT almost picking up a few kills. A few much needed kills, we could say, because for now they are still very far behind in gold.
We're going to try and steal the golems away. Candy Panda got them anyway. So gold is swinging in his favor. You can see it's a 30 CS advantage in that bottom lane between the 2 AD carries. Top lane, 70 CS advantage between Freddy and Xaxus. And of course, it's equating to massive chunks of gold. Look at that top lane pairing. 2,300 gold differential between them. And again, down in those AD carries, it's what, 1,500, 1,600 gold between them as well. So big advantages being picked up by SK Gaming. They may lose out on this middle turret. That's a good combo. Spear Spear, Bubble, and Cocoon all at once.
Quite some damage. Also actually managed to pick up the tower. SK couldn't engage. There wasn't enough members, only N-Rated and Svenskeren to try and protect here. But going back to Freddy, the Renekton pick, it really worked out for SK. They played it so well with it early game, and that's why they are so far ahead as well, because Freddy's been a big part of it. Now towards this blue buff here, SK want to try and challenge for it.
Yeah, good Cocoon on Svenskeren, and that stopped the challenge dead in its tracks. Couldn't get in, couldn't get the smite, couldn't land that Sonic Wave. And it does buy time for Xaxus again in that top lane. Needs to, as you mentioned, get some of that farm back. He's a long way behind Freddy, which all came from that very early level 1 2v1 switches and all the rotations they were doing early on. Put them in so much problems, and this is something we're seeing more and more common in every single LCS game now.
And it's what we need, because again, it was one of the things EU as a region were pretty far behind on when it came to rotations, when it came to tactics in game, and it's great to see the teams really picking up on it. And we know we have very strong individual players in Europe, so that's definitely not the issue for us. It's more the fact that the teams have to learn these rotations, tactics. They of course need to get better and better at them. So for us, at least the spectators, it's great to see.
Yeah, and it's a case of understanding the situations. Like suddenly if the team calls for a slow push in top and a fast push in mid, they need to know exactly what they've got to do with the minion waves, every single player on that team. At the moment, SK Gaming have the advantage. They're trying to push in, trying to take down this pink ward, but it's a little bit of bait, I feel, from SK Gaming. They're trying to draw ROCCAT in a little bit closer as the Solar Flare was getting in range from N-Rated.
And it's great for SK to keep ROCCAT in this jungle here, because they can do so much AoE poke with Jesses, of course. They engage from N-Rated and hit multiple members once they fight in the jungle here. So SK happy just poking away. Of course, took actually a spear from Overpower in the face onto, I believe it was Svenskeren, so he at least needs to back away a little bit.
It was Svenskeren and Candy Panda who took one, so 2 good spears landing this time around from Overpower, of course, with that needlessly large rod attached along with the Athenes and Holy Grail. Those spears will start to hurt, but as we've seen so many times from Nidalis, if they do fall behind, it tends to get tricky in those defensive spears. You have to be incredibly accurate to catch them.
Yeah, basically you need to land a spear to force them away from your tower and just buy yourself time.
And Svenskeren!
Oh, he's on the ward!
Oh, that would have been a kill. Just gets away. He stood on top of the ward as well, but it wasn't quite in range. And now actually Overpower's taking a spear, but Jesus can reply with some of those bouncing bombs.
And while, of course, we just praised SK for the early game decisions, rotations, looking back at the Alliance game as well, what the teams then need to learn now is, once we got the lead, how do we really push it here? How do we make sure there's no chance for the other team to come back? I mean, for now, ROCCAT has had some time to actually farm up. We see they're not catching up yet, but at least Sellout down this bottom lane is actually getting quite some farm onto the Cockmore. So SK giving ROCCAT some time to farm back into this game.
So many times Candy Panda stole away those golems. Sullivan again tries to get up there, tries to get the last hits on them, but Candy Panda runs away with that gold again and starts to build that advantage. Almost close to 2,000 gold now between those two. Freddy going to get away, just away from that cocoon of about, just going to clear out vision. Has got a ping ward, doesn't put it down at Baron, so doesn't feel that's too much of a worry right now. What is going to be a worry maybe is the dragon coming up in 30 seconds.
Of course, and that's where he can use the pink ward, put in his own jungle, and then just start landing spears over the wall. Actually, just where Sven can put his ward, Overpower can place his pink, deny the vision, and just start trying to land some poke here. If ROCCAT gets some good poke onto SK, they might be able to go in for a fight, but it's going to be very, very risky because N-Rated can just start a fight if he wants to.
Well, as they collect in that bush, that's almost going to be a magnet for those spears. Pink ward just off the side there, and that's what he's looking towards. Baron, dragon spawning in 2 seconds time. Jez is actually staying in the mid lane at the moment, so he's keeping pressure with those bouncing bombs on Overpower around that mid lane. So hasn't been drawn into this fight right now, but this time around, ROCCAT really do want to fight for this dragon.
And they kind of have to, well, Celebi is still far away. He needs to join in with his team. There's teleport onto Freddy. He can join in, try and flank around ROCCAT if possible. And let's see here. Jess is just trying to land some poke, and Rated already took one spear to the face. And now actually SK decides to back away, also because Freddy's just pushing this top lane. Xaxus needs to either go in and start the dragon, or actually teleport up here and stop if they want to prevent Freddy from doing damage. Seems though Freddy don't want to do it, he want to join in with the team.
Uh-oh, Overpower in trouble. Candy Panda with the culling, not quite enough to get on towards him, but the flash will. And Overpower goes down to the AD carry of Candy Panda.
And he completely split up from the rest of the team. He tried to move around and keep landing spears onto SK. Candy Panda just waited down in the bush here, spotted him, easy kill for him. Dragon as well for SK.
Well, that's the 4th one of the game now, I believe, for them. So full control on that once again. 24 minutes into this one. Sullivan has got a lot of damage on him, as you mentioned, but when he's pretty much all in his own down this bottom lane, that's going to be a problem as SK Gaming move in bulk. 4 members of them pushing that bottom wave.
And it should be the bot tower. It's already very, very low. Rest of ROCCAT is still far away. Overpower just respawned. 2 members are in the mid lane. This tower, easy enough for SK.
Yeah, that's going to go down. I think Enraid probably could have tanked it up, didn't really need to. Minions come in, easy tower picked up, first inner of the game. Freddy is keeping the middle wave busy. Jankos goes a little bit aggressive on that one. Can't go too deep. He has got the rest of SK rotating from the bottom up towards this mid lane. Don't think they're going to go in towards that one though, so they're just going to back off. Got themselves another couple of great objectives. They're all going to be sat with a chunk of gold in their pockets.
Yeah, and we actually see both Syndicate and Reddit being down towards the 50% HP mark, and that's why SK don't feel like they need to go and push anything, because one spear and you're suddenly very low, and therefore you will be forced to go back to base. So wisely enough, use the gold they just picked up here, go back, heal up, and can then start grouping up if they really want to start either sieging down a tower, maybe try and force a Baron, just deny full vision from ROCCAT, set it up, and if ROCCAT tries to go in and stop you, you just turn around on them with Leona and start a fight.
So, just shy of 10,000 gold lead right now, 9k just roughly overall, and that's pretty much split across every member of SK because of all the objectives they've been taking, the 4 dragons, the 4 towers. And in terms of farm, you can see it's now a 100 CS lead that Freddy has over Zazas, which is becoming a serious problem. 3,000 gold advantage he has over that top lane.
Richest man on the team.
Almost a complete item.
Yeah, he's actually, again, he's the guy with the most gold for SK because he's just been farming all the time up in this top lane. Nobody to stop him from farming, except for the death he had early game where they tried to dive on the Zazas. He's just been going back to top lane again and again, pick up the farm. Very good teleport use as well to join in with the rest of the team if needed. Yeah,
he's actually made use of that teleport very well, as you're saying. Guardian Angel's now been picked up by him. There's the Cullion being used. Very quick cooldown timer on that one for Candy Panda. Got himself the Triforce completed himself, as well as, of course, Sullivan, who picked his up early. Candy Panda just peeking off at the side there. He's actually been sitting in and around this bush with the golems, with that bottom wave for a very long time. Sullivan's been keeping him company. But SK, they've felt pretty comfortable because they've had good ward coverage around this red buff area.
Yeah, and this is actually the first time where they don't have it, and that's why they're a bit scared of just moving in and just keep backing out. ROCCAT at least been doing a good job trying to get back some of the war control here. Candy Panda in the bottom lane pushing for himself. ROCCAT rotating between mid and the bottom lane to try and defend it. SK now moving up here with the wave to top lane. In red, he's not spotted yet.
There we go, Zenith Blade, Solar Flare locking up Zazas. Mega Inferno Bomb follows through, he flashes out of it, but into his not going to be able to escape, I don't feel. There comes Svensko, and he comes around to try and finish the job. He will get the kill as well. Killed secured, I believe, is the phrase you could use for that one. The wave comes out. It may keep him away from the turret. There was a good Aqua Prison on Enrated, but he will flash away and get away from this one. Repel comes from Jankos, but I'm not sure he wants to follow too deep on this one because SK will just turn back around on them. Freddy goes deep on Slice and Dice there. Jankos gets caught out. Has to try and shield up and heal himself away from that one. The tower will go down. It was a 1-for-0 trade overall, and SK just showing how that gold works in their favor right now. They're so much stronger than ROCCAT.
And again, they had pushed down every single lane towards the base of ROCCAT, so they can just move around here, in-rated, completely unspotted, move towards the top lane. So once Renekton was actually at the tower, they could dive, 2 members, rest of SK could quickly join in before ROCCAT could even react to it, pick up the kill. Chase went on for ROCCAT, of course. Actually wanted to try and at least get a kill or 2. SK could then just turn around when Candy Panda actually came in and picked up the tower as well.
So ROCCAT really very much in trouble now. 2 inner turrets down, top and bottom. Middle one is the last surviving one. Dragon is up in a minute and a half, and you can bet your boots SK Gaming will be all over that one. And Baron may actually be their focused objective next.
And 4 members from ROCCAT used the flash in the last fight. So Enrated has a lot of targets here he can hit his ulti on if he wants to engage the fight. And they can just instantly blow up him. Cockmore, he's gonna die instantly. Nami, of course, the same deal here. So for SK, if they do try and force a fight now, bait ROCCAT into a bad situation, Enrated can just land an easy ulti.
Off at the side, clearing out ward coverage at the moment in that river area. In fact, he's pinging it. He's like, someone come and sweep this, please. Mine's down. I haven't got it available. He's Keeps on pinging it. Svenska is not interested. Instead, he looks like he may try and go for a kill here on Jankos. Quick stun comes out from Enrated. They do not follow it through with that shield Daybreak. And he will just hold his ground. ROCCAT seemingly trying to defend out that jungle, but I'm not sure that's what they should need to be doing because they're leaving the mid lane open.
I'm a little bit surprised SK are not more confident pushing down though. Yes, of course you can take a spear to your face, but where's the hard engage on the side of ROCCAT? It's the same deal as last game. Okay. Nami won't be the one to engage. It's so easy to dodge around the wave. So SK can just group up. If you take a bad spear, you back away, you heal it up and go in again. And that's actually what they're doing now, just grouping up towards this mid lane.
A lot of cull in, all landing on Overpower to heal himself up to keep himself alive in that one. The bottom wave is not pushing. This is something we saw with Alliance right now, that they'd have all the lanes pushed in, and really Millennium were left with no objectives, nowhere to go. Dragon is up in 3 seconds time, which is why SK are now in position. They're going to get themselves the 5th Dragon of the game.
Easy peasy. ROCCAT just trying to get some farm in this mid lane. Their own blue buff actually spawned. They should be able to pick that one up. SK is not in a position to do anything about it because they got the Dragon. Also opens up for ROCCAT actually to clear out some of the wards here from SK around the Baron. Place their own sneaky ward here, so of course if there's a plan...
Oh, blue buff stole from Jesus there with the Mega Inferno Bomb. Nicely done there, and that will cause a problem for Overpower. He's already down on mana. He needs the cooldown on them spears, and well, SK Gaming are going to put them in serious problems. They have to push all these waves though.
So SK don't actually take advantage of the fact that Overpower was so low on mana. Maybe they didn't actually spot his mana out here. No, there was a ward, so they will, of course have seen it. Gonna move in now though, once Jesus actually pushes down the mid lane to, again, hopefully clear out the wards around the Baron so they can apply some pressure at least for ROCCAT there and force ROCCAT to either go up and face check it or just say, okay, we have to give up this Baron for free in case SK starts it and ROCCAT is not in position to try and stop it. But for now, there's 2 wards remains from ROCCAT. They have Vision and SK back to the same position they've been in for the last few minutes where they push down the waves and then just stay far away from Overpower in Italy here. Don't want to risk getting a spear in the face and just move around, deny a little bit of vision, push in the wave once again. Freddy doing the same thing up in this top lane here where of course Sazus needs to get up here and defend it.
Something they haven't taken advantage of, as you mentioned earlier on, was the flashes. The flashes were all down. They're all on long cooldowns, but they're almost off those cooldowns now, and we still haven't seen Enrated going aggressive. We do see Freddy coming around the backside in this mid lane. That's going to give SK the middle turret easily taken there. Good position in there. They could shove along that top wave. He could keep on pushing here. They could get a couple of hits, but I don't think they want to go too deep on this inhibitor turret just yet.
But now we at least see it from SK, grouping up straight in towards the tower here. They know, unless Overpower lands a few spears, we can just keep pushing up here. We are far ahead. And if someone steps out of position, Enrated can engage onto them. And Freddy, of course, with Guardian Angel, with Randuin, he can tank this tower for a long time. So SK can just group up here. They can even just dive if they want to, actually. They can start a fight.
Top wave is slow pushing in. SK are ready and waiting. Enrated's caught out. A lot of damage on towards him. Is it going to be enough? The ultimate's not going to take him down from Sullivan there. The spears do land, but it may be enough to keep SK at guard right now.
No follow-up from ROCCAT. Again, they don't have any champions who can just dive straight into your team here. So Enrated could back away. Didn't even need to use his flash actually to disengage. So for SK at least, again, pretty much the same deal as Alliance last game. Because of the comp from ROCCAT, can push up towers, back away in case something goes wrong, do the same thing again, and ROCCAT just needs to buy time and farm.
Oh, big chunk of farm going across towards Candy Panda down that bottom wave, clearing out chunks of waves right now. Cullen being used to make sure he picks up every single last drop, and he's going to back off. He'd already bought himself a second Vampiric Scepter on the last bag, so we'll see who turns that into, whether it is going to be a Blade of the Rune King or it is going to be a Bilgewater Cutlass, so Blade of the Rune King almost certainly will get picked up by Candy Panda.
We also see Frozen Heart on to Enrated here, so he's going full armor based, and it's very smart of course because Nidalee is not exactly the person who's going to be in his face in a team fight. It's going to be all about him getting towards Silver, slowing down his attack speed, tanking up as much damage as possible against him. It's a very smart pickup. And now SK moving into around this Baron here. Will they be able to clear the ward on the side? They should with this pink ward. Yes sir.
They're going to see them both. See United in there. And this Baron's going down very quickly. ROCCAT going to have to get a wriggle on here if they want to try and get in and clear this one out. Jesus is in there. Satchel charge keeps Jankos at bay. That's an easy Baron. Now they lock in towards Jankos. Where's he going to repel to? Dropping straight down onto their heads. And Jesus will take that one. SK Gaming full control now. Every single Dragon, every single Baron, all going their way.
Yeah, it's a very safe play for SK Gaming here in the mid game. Pays off for them. Didn't want to take any chances where ROCCAT could try and come back in the game. So just been slowly working all the lanes down over and over, just waiting for opportunity to either take a tower or now the Baron. So very safe play by SK, and it worked for them.
Well, Candy Panda, you're meant to be hitting the turret, buddy, not the minions right there. ROCCAT going to go in towards him. Overpower's going to get locked in. Xaxus is trying to put something down. Ooh. The spear will land on Svenska, and he does get himself a kill. And that's going to give SK Gaming pause for thought as they back away from this one. But you can still see, oh, Jez is caught out. Aqua Prison not going to land. Still a lot of damage on SK Gaming, so ROCCAT got to be careful if they chase this.
And SK managed to just back away from this one here. Got inhibitor down. Yes, they lost a member. Still very much worth it for SK. And now can put their attention, once they actually come back from the base, on the top side or on the bottom side and try and do the exact same thing. Group up, do some damage to the tower, back away a little bit, do the same thing over and over.
Big numbers being built up by SK Gaming in terms of farm. It's a 35-minute game. They've had close to full control. Not as clean as Alliance's game, not by any stretch of the imagination. But ROCCAT really have been chasing it, just like Millennium were in the last game, and it's just simple early advantages picked up and worked on, steadily worked on though. They're not being absolutely punished like we've seen some teams do before.
But it's the thing, again, we mentioned quickly in Champ Select how early game, especially like Renekton and Lee Sin, a lot of power from SK. Ziggs is gonna beat Nidalee in the lane as well. We talked about how ROCCAT needed to lane swap top lane to get away from, of course, the Lucian as well in lane for the Cockmore. So the lanes, or the champions for ROCCAT just needed time to build up, to get into this point where they become really, really strong into the late game. And that's where SK, with a lot better mid-game comp, just took full advantage of the map and of the fact they can push down the lanes. And they just played it very safe, so ROCCAT now had some time to farm up, but still SK has the Baron, picked up already, the inhibitor now, so while it's safe, they keep the advantage going.
Really is a gigantic crocodile in the mid lane. They are worried to get close to him. Candy Panda is going to clear out those wards. I'd love to have a ward kill count at some point on these games. Sometimes when they go on, it is a long vision. Overpower's got to be careful. There's a lot of damage from Freddy. And he really wasn't quite realizing how much was there. Spears continue to get thrown as the rest of SK keep putting that damage on towards that tower. The Culling, by the way, will not take that turret down. He's going to have to attack it. The wave only caught out by the beach and rated in Leona there. She'd already got her bikini on, so she was ready to ride the waves on that one. Freddy going to keep on pushing. Super minions around the side. Candy Panda can't get too close. He's taken low. He's going to lifesteal off the wolves, I think, off the side and probably come back and join his fight. Yeah, he's going to use the Wraith as well to lifesteal himself back into it. No problem there. Xaxus, he's going to get locked up. Freddy putting the damage down. Freddy is an unstoppable machine right now that nobody wants to deal with. Overpower keeps on throwing out the stuns. Svenska taking low. Candy Panda's back. He's got himself his lifesteal fully topped off. Solar Flare goes down. Xaxus is going to be the focus target. Freddy chasing on towards him. Will back away. Still got the Guardian Angel, by the way, on him. Yet to take down this inhibitor turret, though. SK seemingly a little bit haphazard on their targeting right now.
But because ROCCAT can never just point and click engage onto them or have any hard CC from far away, SK can just stay around and keep dancing back and forth in the base and now pick up the inhibitor and back away, even though they took so much damage in the fight. And ROCCAT actually went back to base, healed it up, joined in again. It was the same thing, just kiting them around, getting damage onto them and inhibitor every single time.
It's now a 5,500 gold gap between the top laners, Xaxus and Freddy. Gigantic numbers as well. And it's actually 4,000 across both the mid laner and the AD carry as well. So really big numbers for SK Gaming. You can see the gold advantage, the objective advantage. 6 out of 6 turrets, 8 turrets down, sorry, 6 out of 6 dragons and 1 Baron. So big difference. SK Gaming, it's theirs to lose right now, that's for sure.
It's been theirs to lose for a long time in this game. Pretty much since minute 5 or 6, they actually started to pull ahead when Freddy could take the wave up in the top lane and just slowly push with it from his own top tower all the way down here. Pick up a lot of farm. He got the first lead there and just kept doing the same thing over and over. So ROCCAT actually got punished for the fact they sent 4 members up top lane to kill the tower, and SK didn't even kill the tower down the bottom lane. They didn't care about pushing it. They were just freezing the lane for Candy Panda. And it's pretty much why we see most teams now freezing the lanes and not just these fast pushes, because it's too risky. you might get in a disadvantage where your top laner then gets denied a lot of farm because, again, the waves push so far down in the side of the enemy team. And it's exactly what we saw happening here for ROCCAT and why most teams now just do these slow pushes and prefer to even freeze the lanes.
Big news for ROCCAT though, they got themselves the red buff this time around. It's the first one they've secured in a while, in around about 30 minutes. SK going in, Aqua Prison catches on Enrated. He does not care right now. Jankos, he's trying to keep them at bay, trying to do anything they can. The inhibitor with that respawn. They are actually putting good poke onto SK Gaming, but SK are just really not worried about this one. They can't quite get in there. Tidal Wave on towards Enrated once again. They don't care. Freddy goes in. Mega Inferno Bomb catches 4 members of ROCCAT. Solar Flare comes down. Salavar gets dropped. It's a double picked up by Candy Panda. The inhib will drop. SK Gaming are pretty low still, but they have super minions coming in the top wave in towards these Nexus turrets.
They should be able to finish this one here. Beautiful kick from Svenskeren into the bomb from Jesus. Wins the game for SK.
Joining Alliance in the top of the table will be SK Gaming as they pick themselves up their own 4th victory, taking down ROCCAT in commanding style once again. It was a 40-minute game. It definitely went on a lot longer than it probably should have, but SK Gaming never once looked like they were in trouble.
They played it very, very safe, and it's something SK Gaming they like to do. They don't want to take any chances of giving you a free Baron, giving you a Dragon, giving you some kind of objective, so they played very safe, just slowly push down every single wave, move between them, go up in the top lane, pick a tower, go back again. Didn't really want to take any fights either because they didn't have to. They could just keep pushing down the waves. Safe, and it worked.
Safe, and it indeed worked. And you know, if you were actually to look